Hi, welcome to a new episode of the Square Penguin. In this episode, I will teach you about the basic of YUM and DNF as the primary package manager for Red Hat or CentOS or Fedora distributions. Let's log in. Our password 123. Let's open a Linux terminal. Let's ask you into root. So let's say you want to start installing packages on your system. We could do that using the legacy version of YUM, or we could do it using the de facto standard, which will be DNF in this case. So using YUM, we just proceed and do YUM install followed by the package name. In our example, we will be using Apache, and the package that Apache is associated with is HTTPD. So in this case, we'll do YUM install HTTPD. This will reach out to the corresponding repositories, either local repositories or external repositories, or any other means of resource of packages that you have set up, either a local CD-ROM or a local repo within the machine or a remote machine. So after that, we get prompted to either validate or review the package list and then proceed to install the packages. So in this case, we could hit yes, and the package and the dependency will automatically be installed. In this instance, I will hit no or N, and I will teach you how to install the package automatically without being prompted. It is always a good practice not to use this option because it facilitates for you to review the package along with the dependencies before automating the procedure. So in our case, if we are to automate the installation of the package along with all the dependencies, then we use the same command and we append the -y option, which means automatically install the package for me. We hit enter. And as you can see, we're not getting prompting anymore and all the dependencies are getting installed. So that is for the installation. For the removal, it's the same or similar procedure for jump. We type jump remove followed by the package. And if you want to be prompted, you click just enter. It will grab the package and the unused dependencies. In this case, we're going to hit no because we want to automate the process. And then we type -y. And this will automatically remove the package along with its dependencies. Now, what will happen if you have a package installed already and you just want to update it? So maybe in the next release of Apache, there are some bug fixes. So for that, we use the command yum update HTTPD. In our case, we don't have Apache installed. So the package manager will tell you the Apache is not installed. But in the event that we have it installed, we can just type yum install and install it again. And then we could type now to update it, yum update HTTPD. Of course, in our case, we're not going to have any new metadata security files for this packet because we just installed it and it's running the latest version that resides in the remote repository. We could use the list function to search for a specific package name. In this case, if we type yum list HTTPD, which is our Apache program, it will give you an output that the Apache is installed along with the actual versioning of Apache. Another program or another options that you can use with YUM is the search functionality. If you don't know the name of a package or if you don't know a specific element within that package, you could always do a while search. For example, if we're trying to find any packages associated with the prefix of BI, we could always do a YUM search BI. Now this will search every single packet that have a prefix of BI on it. And as you can see, we have many of them. Now to make the search more granular, we could use a specific package. In their case, we'll search for the package bin. Now we could see that the bin editor has come back along with other different variants of the editor. Now, if you want a specific information or if you want details about a particular package, you could always use the jump info followed by the package name. In this case, let's find the info for the HTTPD or Apache package. This will give you a brief overview of the package, the release version, the architecture, the size of the package, the repository that the package was fetched from, as well as a brief description of the package itself. You could also get a list of all the packages that are loaded in your system by using the yum list command. This will give you a list of every single package in an ascending manner. Now, what if you want to just list the packages that are installed in your system? You could type yum list install. So now, as you can see, this will provide you a complete list of all the packages that are installed in your system. Sometimes, we get to ask or we get to figure it out a specific file that we find in the system, and we need to figure it out what is this file associated with, or which package this file is associated with. In this case, I'm going to give you an example. So let's go to HTTPD, which is our Apache directory, and let's go to the config path itself. So in here we have a file. We are residing under etc httpd conf, and here we have a file called httpd.config. Now, what if we were to ask ourselves what package is actually associated with this file? To accomplish that, we use now, as you can see, by typing RPM query file, we're actually going into the RPM database and figure out which package is associated with this particular configuration file. I'm not going to get into too much details about RPM. If you want to find out more about this particular binary, you can always type man RPM and go over all the different options that RPM provides. In this case, we're just focusing on YUM and in DNF. So if you want to check for the available system updates, you can always type YUM and the check update. And then this will show you all the updates if they have any updates available. You could always update your entire system by typing YUM update. In our case, the package manager is coming back with 5 new packages and 92 packages that are available to be upgraded. We don't want to do that right now, so we're going to hit no. We don't want to upgrade our system now. You also have the capability of listing package groups. In this case, you have a series of packages that are grouped together for a specific function within the system. And for that, we use the command YUM group list. This will list all the packages in a group manner. For instance, we have the available environments groups, and in here we have the server, the minimal install, the workstation, the virtualization host, etc., etc. These are groups of packages that are targeted for a specific function within the system. In addition to that, you're able to see which actual group of packages have been installed and what are the group of packages that are available for you to install. Let's say we want to install a package group for smart card support. In that case, all we need to do is type yum group install single quote smart card support. Now this will collect the package and all the dependencies. In this case, you're getting prompted if this is okay to be installed on the system. You hit yes, and they will get installed. In our case, we're not going to install it, but you get the point. The same thing for removal. Instead of using yum group install, you use yum group remove. Or if you were to do the updates, you could do yum group update followed by the group name, and that will subsequently update all the packages within that group. Now, if you want to see a list of the repositories as they reside in the system, you can always type yum repo list, and this will list the repository. In our case, we have 3 repos, one called upstream, one called baseOS, and one called extras. We can also list other repositories that we have accessibility to, even though they're not enabled in our system, by typing yum repo list all. So this will list all the repositories that are accessible in the system, including those that are in disabled state. The ones that are in disabled state, they can be enabled for additional packages to be retrieved from those. And how do by default, YUM keeps a repository of its own internal database. So in order to clean that repository, we can always use the command yum clean all. This will clean up the database itself at the cache level and make sure that there is nothing necessary space being used within the system. Lastly, within YUM, YUM keeps its own history of all the different activities that we perform in the system. And that could be you installing, removing, making configuration changes, enabling repositories. You can view this activity by using the command yum history. In this case, you can see that we have removed and we have installed Apache in multiple occasions, and it keeps a record itself of every single action that you perform. That's it for YUM. If you want more details about this particular legacy package manager, you can always type man YUM and go to the man pages and review every single option and along with every single functionality of this particular program. Now moving on to DNF. So with DNF is actually the newer reincarnation of YUM. So DNF, just like YUM, has also a different set of capabilities. If we are to find the version of DNF that we have installed, we could type DNF followed by -- version. And in this case, we'll have installed version 4.0.9. You could also type DNF help, and you could get all the list of all the options and available capabilities of the tool. So if we need to find information, just like we did on YUM, for a specific package, let's say Apache, for instance, we could type DNF info followed by HTTPD. And this will give you a brief description of the package, the versioning, along with all the other different parameters that are related to this package. So let's say we want to install a package like Apache. Type DNF install HTTPD. And again, we get prompted by the yes or no answer about the list of packages and dependencies. In our case, we'll type no. And again, we could type DNF install HTTPD, and we append the Y option for not to be prompted for any validation itself. You can always install multiple packages by using DNF install, follow with the list of packages. In our case, let's say HTTPD, let's say postfix, and send mail. So in this case, I have 3 different packages which I'm trying to install. You hit enter, and all 3 packages, along with all the required dependency, will be installed. How do we list packages? Similar to YUM, we use DNF list. This will provide a complete listing of all the packages available and installed. If you just want to see the packages that are installed in your system, similar to YUM, we type DNS list install. This will list all the packages that are installed in our system. And if you want to list all the packages that are available only, you could type DNF list available. Okay, DNF list available. These are the list of our available packages. Just like YUM, we could use DNF check for update. This will list all the available package that can be updated. In addition to that, you could do DNF list updates to check for all the available packages that require updates as well. If you just want to update a single package, you could type DNF update HTTPD, for example, and that should reach out and reach any available updates for this particular package. If you want to update all the packages in your system, just like YUM, update. In the case of DNF, you can always type DNF update. This will provide you the updates available to the existing packages of your system. Or you could type the alternate, which is DNF upgrade. And this will provide upgrades to all the packages and the system itself. If you wanted to synchronize all the packages in your system to the latest available versions from their repositories, you could always use DNF distro sync. And again, this will synchronize all the packages along with the latest versions from the repositories. So let's say you're searching for one package in particular, just like we did on YUM. In the case of DNF, we could use DNF search bin, and it will provide you the list of bin and all the different variants within it. So sometimes you just want to download a package, for instance, but you don't want to install it right away. So we can always do that by doing DNF download, let's say bin. We can see the package is getting downloaded, but will be installed. If you want to install that package, then since we downloaded the package in our root directory, and we could validate that by typing ls-la, we can see the name of the RPM of our package. So if we want to install that package using DNF, we could use, okay. So in this case, the actual packages, in this case, the Bing Enhanced package will get installed, and DNF will actually seek out all the dependencies within it. We're not going to install it right now. So what if you were to downgrade a specific package? So if we say we want an earlier version of Apache because of compatibility issues with our application. So in that case, we could type DNF downgrade HTTPD. So we don't have Apache installed, but let's try to install it. So keep in mind that downgrading a package will only work if you have installed a package and you have upgraded multiple versions. As you can see, the downgrade capability is not present when you just install a package for the first time. That capability is only available when you have multiple interactions of upgrading a single package into a later version. So let's say you have an issue with an installed package like HTTPD or Apache, for instance, and you would like to fix the issues on it. You could always reinstall that package all over again. So you could type DNF reinstall HTTPD. It's before reinstall the package, not the dependencies, just the package itself. So for removal, we use the same command as we did on YUM or a similar command, DNF remove HTTPD. This will remove the actual package along with any dependencies that are being used. For package groups, very similar to YUM. So we have DNF group list to list all the groups. In our case, these are the groups that we have available, the ones that we have installed. If we are to, for instance, install a group using DNF, we use DNF group install. Let's say we're going to install the development tools. This will install this whole bunch of packages for development. For removal, similar, we do a DNF group remove followed by the actual group of packages. For the update of packages groups, we use the same or similar command, DNF group update followed by the actual package group that we want to update. If you just want to list the repositories, very similar to YUM, we use DNF repo list. This will list the repository, or DNF repo list all. It will list the present repositories that are enabled and those that are present but they're not enabled. Let's say you want to enable a repository like CentOS Plus. So for that, we could use DNF config manager followed by set enable and the repository ID, in this case CentOS Plus. And we can validate that that repository has transitioned from disabled state into enable by typing DNF repo list all. And now you can see that the CentOS repository has been enabled and it has about 26 packages. Now, if you would like to disable that repository, we would type DNF config manager set disable, followed by the repository name, CentOS plus in our case. And now we can go back and do a DNF repo list all, and we can see that the repository has been disabled. Pretty straightforward and very easy to maneuver around it, similar to YUM itself. What if you need to find a specific command that you don't remember? For example, let's say we want to find the package that has the capability of running nextstat, for example. We could use DNF provides followed by asterisk, and let's say nextstat. So in our case, the DNS program itself will do a search of the database of packages and it associates that particular wildcard entry that I put of nextstat, and it will find every single package that has a nextstat file associated with it. In our case, we found the nettools is the package that we're working for. So this is a pretty handy way of finding packages that you don't remember what they were part of, or utilities per se. Similar to YUM, we could use DNF history, and it will provide us a list of all the activities that were conducted, either install, remove, or updates configuration within the package manager itself. What if you want to find out what activity took place for a specific action? For example, what action was performed on ID 9, the installation of HTTPD? So we could always get more details by doing a DNF history info and the ID itself. So in this case, it actually provides us a history of the transaction, who executed the transaction, as well as every single package that got installed within that transaction. What if you want to roll back a specific transaction? Very simple. All you have to do is type DNF history. Let's say you want to undo the installation of Apache in our record, which is associated with ID 9. We can always type DNF history undo number 9. Well, it doesn't look like we have Apache now installed, but you get the point. Or you could always do a DNF history redo followed by the actual number, and this will get Apache back installed again. Let's not do that right now. So the DNF itself has a metadata cache database. It will automatically be updated whenever you install, update packages, or remove packages. So we don't really need to manually build it. However, DNF has built-in commands that build the cache to make the future transaction quicker. So we could build our own cache using the DNF make cache command. Now we will see that our cache has been created. Now, if you want to remove unwanted or orphan packages, we could always use DNF auto remove. We don't have any unwanted or orphan packages. However, we could always remove also the cache packages themselves. So using DNF clean all, which is similar to the YUM interaction of the package. And that's all for now. If you want to get more details about DNF, always type man DNF and you will the entire main page of DNF and all the different switches and parameters are associated with it. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next video. Thank you.